I was scared that it was never gonna happen for me. I have dated, I have been in situationships with men, but I've never met someone who I feel like I would want to spend a long period of my life with, like who I would want to be in a relationship with. And this was something that in my early 20s, I actually just never saw myself falling in love or being in a relationship. I always just thought like I would be the person who would never be in love, and love was stupid. And I think ultimately it was just a way to avoid getting hurt. I definitely have been in toxic situations where I've been treated really poorly by men and just used. And I think you could put 2 and 2 together for situationships in your early 20s. And I think it really did mess me up. And it wasn't until I really started doing a lot of therapy around my mental illnesses that I learned kind of the impact those situationships had on me overall. And so when I say I've never had a boyfriend, it used to be something that I was super ashamed of, because I just figured at this point in my life, 30, I would definitely be in a situation or be at least close to like getting married, having kids, living with someone, like all those things I figured would already be like part of my life, but they're not. I want to share a little bit about why I think that's okay and why I'm coming to terms with where I'm at in my life is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Even though at times I find it really hard, I still believe that everything will work out how it's supposed to. And I'm just trying to have more faith that the universe will guide me wherever I need to go. But I truly did believe that by now I would be in love and would have found my person. And I think it's super easy for people to say, like, if they've been in relationships in the past or had like really bad experiences, that to be like, girl, you're not missing out on anything. I totally respect where you're coming from, but I think if you're like me and you've never experienced a relationship or been with someone that you really love and want to spend more time with or see your future with, we don't know what that feels like. Like, we're very much used to being alone and not having the support from that person. And so when you say things like that, I totally understand and I could agree with you, but we also want to experience that in life. I think everybody in life just really wants to feel loved and feel like they belong with someone. And
okay, she talked about how while she was growing up, she felt like she was left out because most of her friends were in a relationship, so she felt like she had to catch up, but she couldn't. And she also talked about situationship, and I want to really capitalize on situationship. I mean, for a long time, situationship and hookup had been the order of the day. Like, almost all the young girls wanted to have this experience. It became like a trend. Most of the young girls wanted to hook up and just have that experience, to test the waters, to sample as many guys as they could. You know, it was a culture. It's a trend. And, you know, when you get into the trend blindly, and before you know it, you're so deep, far gone into the trend that it destroys your life, it affects your life. And these are the consequences. These are the things that we're seeing. So many young girls, so many women saying that they've never really had the chance to be in a relationship, like to be in a long-term relationship, to be in a committed relationship, because they have been like into situationships. And it is so difficult for you to nurture a long-term relationship when you give the vibe, or you give like you prove or you show that you are more into situationship, like hookup, casual relationships. You just want to hang out, Netflix and chill, and then after that you ghost the guy or the guy ghosts you. And when you give that kind of vibe, it shows, and that's how it happens. And it has been like something, like I said, it's a trend for most young girls, most women nowadays. Even when you go, every time you switch online, I don't need a man, I don't need a man. But you see them hanging out having hookups and situationships. Yeah, I think the point where she says that, yeah, she never really saw herself like someone who fall in love and all that. And then she mentioned that it was kind of some sort of a protection. She was using it to protect herself because she had been in toxic relationships, situationships where she had been treated so bad. I mean, this is really common. I'm a girl, I can relate to that. You know, we always try to protect ourselves, especially when we've had a very bad experience with a previous man. We try to protect ourselves, and most of the time when you hear us talking about we don't need a man, we don't want to be in a relationship, it's a form of protection. We're trying to protect ourselves, we're trying to protect our hearts. I mean, no one wants their hearts to be broken once, twice, or the third time. No one wants that. So all you have to do is to protect yourself. And unfortunately, when we try to say the things that are in our hearts, we say it like we don't need a man. I mean, like someone said before, our actions are our thoughts. Everything you do, you process it first in your mind, in your mind and in your brain. You process it. So in action, you're putting it out. These are things that are from the inside. So if you're trying to protect yourself from toxic men, and then you use the term that I don't need a man, I can never fall in love, and then you mistakenly say this to a man, trust me, or you say it in the hearing of men, they will be scared. They don't want to be with someone who doesn't even want to be committed. I mean, it's a normal human instinct. It's not only for the men. It's about like anyone who sees you and you say that I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. That's a turn off, you know. True. Everybody in life wants to feel loved by that special person. Like she rightly said, yes, you've made peace with the fact that you don't have a boyfriend, but you have never been in a relationship before, and you are longing to have that person that you can call your person, the person that you can be with, and you can feel loved and be loved, you know. But when you turn around and see people saying that, no, okay, I'm 40, I'm 30, I don't need a boyfriend, I don't need a man, I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't know. I really love the fact that she's genuine, she's being vulnerable, and she's saying it as it is. And I wish her all the best, and I hope that she finds someone that she's going to experience being in a relationship, because you can only talk about what you know. You have never been in a relationship, so you can only talk about that. But you can never cancel the fact that people are happy in relationships, and the experience in being in a relationship with someone is different from being alone. So many people want to have that experience. Maybe not necessarily wanting to get married or settle down, but just have a boyfriend, like long-term relationship, and have that experience. That's what she's talking about. So I applaud her for this. And with this kind of mindset, I believe she's going to find that person with whom she's going to have that experience of a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And who knows, it can end up in marriage and she has kids and be happy, you know, like she already said that at some point she was thinking that, okay, by now she should be living with her boyfriend or living with her man and they have kids and be happy. But she hasn't had that experience, and that's what she really wants. She wants to have that experience. That's her choice. And that's something that most people think about, but they cannot say it out loud, you know. But I applaud her for this.